I know who to trust. I come around me, we sizing them up. Call up the gang, they lining it up. Fading it, taping it up with the cut. I had a dream, I was ready for it. Lord told me, hey Dylan, you headed for it. Know my future been break up and overpouring. Know my demons, they been trying to overthrow it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Duval Not Duval. And today, instead of doing the normal music review that I normally do every week, which you'll still be getting, I'm going to be recording an episode reviewing Love is Blind. So if y'all don't know me personally, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a big fan of, like, not typical romance shows that, like, you know, like Lifetime movie type things, but as for, like, rom-coms and things of that nature, and, like, these reality love shows, I'm a sucker for them. I watch them all. Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, Ready to Love, I can't think of any more, but if it's out there, I watch it, except 90 Day Fiance, because I feel like that one be kind of exploiting him. Shut up! But that's just me. But yeah, as for the other ones, I enjoy them. So while I was thinking about doing Married at First Sight, I kind of already started the season too far, and I didn't feel like going back and forth, and I was like, whatever. But Love is Blind just came out, and I know the first season, I feel like came out like 3 or 4 years ago at this point in time. Like, I don't even remember anything about the first season, so I'm going into this second season brand new. And I was like, you know what? I watched halfway through the first episode, and I was like, I think I want to record and talk about it, because I like talking about these shows, but I have no one to talk to about it a lot of the time, because people think it's for suckers, and you know, that's up to you to decide. I enjoy it, so, and if you're here, I'm assuming you enjoy it too, so we'll let that be. So, first off, what we're going to do a lot of the time, I think I want to do for these type videos, is kind of just review every episode and just talk about, like, some of the main points, the main people that I like, the main couples that I like, some of the questions I have, and things of that nature, and just want to interact with you all in the comments, because I just kind of want folks to talk to about the show, you know? Alrighty, so now you should be able to see, I hope you like that little magic trick, now you should be able to see what I'm looking at for the website so I can remember characters. Obviously, Nick and Vanessa Lachey? We're gonna go with Lachey. They're the hosts of the show. We see them like maybe a total of, they get 30 seconds of screen time maybe on the first episode, so yeah, cool. I've known about Nick. I don't think I knew about Vanessa beforehand, but Nick I remember. This guy, Shake, he didn't have much screen time. I think he had maybe, like, they showed us like his first spring of dates, 5 or 6 dates. And I just want to say, I don't care for this guy. Not that he may be a cool, like, not as an individual person, obviously, I don't know the guy. But for this show, I don't think he's necessarily looking for the right things. I think everybody gets that idea. I had written down that the dude asked a lot of questions where I feel like he's trying to get the appearance of a person to put, like, so he can put it in his mind, when that's literally the exact opposite of the point of the show. Should be getting to know somebody. I remember he asked somebody, the other Indian lady, I don't remember her name, whatever, she'll come up sooner, but he asked her about festivals and whatnot, just to get to a point where he asked, would it be possible for him to pick her up, or is she too heavy, or, like, you know, insinuating that, is she a person that's too, like, trying to figure out if she's a person that's too heavy for that, and or vice versa. And I'm just like, dog, you aren't gonna get a single person in the show that way, because you don't know how to talk to people, and you're not actually trying to get to know folks. I don't remember if this show loads people off, but if it was, that's the one that needs to go, like, with a quickness. Alright, so scrolling on by, Abhishek Chatterjee. I know a Chatterjee. Funnily enough, in elementary school. Asia, or is it Asia? Whichever one. I don't think, like, they showed us any date time for her yet, so I'll have to hold off. We haven't been told anything about her. Like, maybe, I think she made an offhand comment, but I don't think we saw her in the date room. I think we just saw her talking to other, like, in the pods, I think we just saw her talk to, like, other women, you know? Brandon McGee, 28-year-old insurance broker and fitness influencer. I don't think we had much things to talk about with him. I think he had a date or two. Just, you know, he wasn't the main character in this episode, so I'm going to, like, move on past, because if there wasn't enough, like, we didn't really dive deep into him, I'm kind of going to leave him alone. So next we have Brian Go. And I don't even remember seeing this man. If I'm like, I've seen most of the I don't remember seeing him on the first episode. Moving right along. Who do we have? Caitlin McKee. I believe she had a date or so. Not much. She wasn't the main character. Chastity McHale, not a main character. And Danielle Rule, who I believe in my notes I have matched with Nick. Y'all, if y'all don't know, I have like a little notepad. Oh, y'all probably can't read my notes. You're not going to. I was scribbling throughout episodes trying to enjoy the episode at the same time. But yeah, I think she got married to Nick. I loved it. First off, this brings me to my first question of the day. How long is, like, the way this is edited, I don't know if it's all in one day or if it's if they include the whole process and just chop it up like from beginning to end in each episode, like just to show us a couple people's stories or what. But I'm like, how are y'all getting married on the first episode? Now, I remember you spend some time in, like, it's like half the season is making the couple and the other half is trying to see if y'all working with each other. But I'm like, day one, episode one, I'm sure it's not day one, but like, what? That's even, like, that's unheard of for a person that watches Married at First Sight. I'm like, you chose a person after one day. That's new, you know? But whatever. I like them. I like their connection points. They tend to be over... I feel like they're not necessarily I guess you could possibly say almost like not necessarily trauma bonding, but I had growing up they both had issues with their weight and their confidence was attached to that, and so she grew up lost weight and I think he grew up lost a little weight, and they were just talking about the connection there and how it affected them, and I just like honestly. I enjoyed how vulnerable they got with each other and how fast they did it, and like didn't really have any reservations about holding anything back. Which, granted, should be easier since you don't know this person. You could go live your life, and they don't know you, so y'all haven't seen each other, so y'all go back to where y'all live, and you could tell whatever. You can almost use it like a therapist session since they don't know who you are, you don't know who they are, and you can't even see each other to point you out of a crowd. But they truly got vulnerable with each other. I feel like just to know each other as a person, and I loved how comfortable they were with each other. I'm sorry, I don't even have her face showing. This is Danielle. I think she's a very attractive woman. And I think Nick is probably, at this point in time, I think he's probably the best dude on the show. Granted, this is the only one, we've only seen like a handful actually get deep, and I just like Nick the most out of the 5. I'm specifically thinking of 3 or 4 dudes right now. He may be number 2. But out of the 3 or 4 dudes that I've seen, Nick's probably the most. We're going to move on, but because I don't have too many notes on them. We're supposed to be just talking about individuals anyways right now. But I love this couple. I want to see how if they work out. I'm really curious. Question number 2. Sorry. I'm curious to see, what do y'all think, since the first episode ended with them talking about, about to meet, I'm curious to see, what do y'all think is going to happen? Do you think it's just automatically going to like each other just because of how the conversations went? Do you think someone will have some type of reservations about the other's appearance? Or, like, do you have any other, like, long-term ideas? And now don't come in the comments talking like if you done stalked their Instagrams and social medias and things and then putting what actually happened. No, I want genuine guesses and hypotheses, people that are watching just the first episode and commenting off of just the first episode. I want to get your opinions on what you think is gonna happen between them. So moving right along, we have Depti. This was the other South Asian Indian woman that Sheikh messed up with. I think she's very pretty, actually, and which is what's funny, because I feel like if Sheikh would have actually seen her, he would have been like, oh, I think she's cute. But no, he wants to mess it up asking stupid questions that he didn't need to know. And shouldn't have been asking in the first place, and now he'd have messed up his chance with her, because you could tell she was definitely not feeling that. She was like almost offended with the fact that he would even think to ask, and like honestly, she's probably everything he wanted. except being blonde, I guess, because I know they both date white folks, white blonde. Well, it's the only true blondes, but blonde folks, you know. Next we have Hasib. I saw him, but that was it. You know, I think I'm noticing something, y'all. I think this season's in, like, all the people are from Chicago. I've been noticing because Shake was definitely from Chicago. Hasib's from Chicago. I'm going to keep a note now because we're scrolling through. It's telling us a little bit of information about them. Okay. Next we have Hope. Hope was the one that someone asked a question to. Who asked it? Was it Shake? That asked another question. I think Shake or Shane, one of the two. Sorry, spoiling somebody I wasn't supposed to know about yet. Shake or Shane asked a very inappropriate question that made her feel awkward, and that's pretty much was all that it was for her. But it was nothing else. Oh, okay. Ayana, she was one of my favorites. Bro, she has the best laugh on this show. It's the funniest laugh. I enjoy her character. She didn't get much screen time. It was just her and Jarrett, who I hope stay together because she's a beautiful woman. I know her thing is she feels like she doesn't have any features, you know, in the upper chest or behind area. But I think her laugh is very unique. I enjoy her as a person. She's very giddy and fun. And I liked her specifically with Jarrett. Now, they just showed us one date between them and then said, you know, we won't show you any more of either of them. They showed us a little bit more of Jarrett. But I'm like, I really want to see their dynamic together because I thought they were very cool. And if you don't know, I'm a very big proponent of black love. So I kind of enjoy seeing them folks getting along well. And I felt they did. I mean, she's a sweetheart. He is very confident, and like I like the way he controls the room when he's talking, and like you know it's not necessarily a feeling of safety I feel she gets from him, but like you know it kind of puts her at ease. No, he's not going to be too aggressive, just you know making for enjoyable conversation. So I definitely want to see more in episode 2 of specifically Ayana and Jarrett, because that's my two. While I love was it Danielle and Nick? Sorry, I'm bad with names. While I love Danielle and Nick, I do want to see more of Ayana and Jarrett. So next we have Jarrett. Just who I was talking about. Jarrett, man, this dude is so cool. Like this is my dog already. Not my actual dog, but I like the screen time he got. He's just a cool dude. Like he is probably the coolest dude out of all of them. He's probably the one that I hang out most with on my own. Like he's just a cool dude that you know enjoys himself. Did great. One of the few guys I feel that did great with multiple women in terms of like handling their feelings and like you know not being too I want to say too aggressive, too hard. Like you know for example, Shane. Sorry, you haven't seen him yet. You'll see his picture lately. Actually, let me see if I can go find to it because that's enough about Jarrett. Okay, so Shane, he has an issue with like I don't think he's necessarily a bad dude, but he gets when he feels attacked, this man kind of lashes out. And I know Jarrett didn't get to the point where he necessarily felt that way, but I don't necessarily like the way he kind of comes off as. Like he kind of plays to the other person rather than just being himself. Like if you watch the dates with Natalie versus Shayna, there are two different people there. And then whenever he messed up against the wrong person, instead of just owning up to his mistake and trying to just be like, you know, I mean, you could give yourself a little excuse saying, look, all I have to go to is off of voices. It's kind of hard to memorize voices, especially if you don't have a unique voice. Not everyone has a unique voice, and that's okay. But just to say, like, he kind of tried to pin the blame on her, saying you shouldn't be reacting this way, and I'm like, wow, I don't think she necessarily should have. You shouldn't tell her how to feel, and just kind of be like, look, it's my bad. Just take ownership of what you did wrong and let it be. And not even necessarily if you felt like you did a lot wrong, just be like, I apologize for the mistake and how it made you feel. But no, this guy wanted to go on a whole spiel about how she shouldn't be upset. It's kind of like you're tripping if you are. We probably won't work if you are, doing all this other BS. It didn't need to go that far. So I was not happy with Shade. to say the least. But Jarrett, back to who we were, Mr. Jarrett Jones, he knew how to handle everybody, and that's how you avoid the bad situations. So moving right along, we have Jason Beaumont. Don't remember much about him. Jeremy Hartwell. I don't remember much about him. Joey Miller. Also not much. But yeah, it's from Chicago. All these people went to Chicago schools and are from Chicago. Juhi Fahim. Don't remember much. I don't even think she was on this show, this episode. Julius. No. I thought that was Shayna. Kara. I feel like something happened, but I don't remember. Kyle. I think this is Kyle. Yeah, Kyle is, I believe, a construction worker. He's interesting to me. Very, is it blue collar dude? Rough around the edges is the word he used to describe himself, which I feel is probably true. I don't know. So far, I don't think he's talked to a girl that's potentially his actual match, in my opinion. Like, I know he had good conversations. I just don't see any of them as any of the women he talked to as his actual conversation. Yeah, I'll do better note taking on episode 2 to remember who exactly he talked to. But as for this episode, I do not remember. And I just don't remember. Like, I remember he had a good connection with somebody, and it just didn't. I didn't see it personally going anywhere outside of friendship because the other woman didn't really truly like him, in my opinion. But I'm holding out hope for Kyle. He hasn't said anything that's kind of irritated me yet, you know? And so far I'm hoping he finds somebody. Now, I also don't remember how many couples are supposed to be formed out of Love is Blind and that they take into, like, the private living section, but we'll see. Mallory is sure, like, that was a transition from Jarrett to, like, well, Jarrett, when he left the date with Ayanna, he went to Mallory. Then Mallory took us to Kyle, I believe. Mallory seems fun, but we haven't learned any depth from her, so as of right now, it's like all you can really pair her with is, like, you just say she's a good time, and that's it. Like, because we don't know anything else about her. If you say you do, you either know her personally or you're lying, you know? So, next, Natalie. This is the one that my boy Shane messed over in that episode. I personally thought Shane would have did better with Natalie than Shayna, which we will get to later. But he chose to, do what he did. First off, people in general do not ask questions like that you don't want to hear the answer of. He said, who do you think it is? He's taking a shot in the dark. If you haven't been traditionally a playful person, he's not going to assume you when you play a playful joke. He doesn't. I know she did it just to see if he recognized her voice, but sometimes people be over-romanticizing situations and then lead to getting their own feelings broken. I mean, like, feelings hurt whenever the other person's not on the same page. Unless they had constant playful banter, which wasn't shown to us, I thought that was a horrible idea to begin with, especially when, well, I know she doesn't know Shayna, but Shayna's a more playful person. So, whatever. Not excusing what he did when he was wrong, but I don't feel like she should have asked that in the first place. But whatever. Moving on. I thought Shane was probably best with her because their conversations were different. I saw a different part of Shane that I saw the mature side of Shane that I liked. Now, I feel like they can get along together well. I mean, I don't have much personal information to say because I don't remember it, but I just remember I wrote down that I liked her, like them two, Shane and Natalie, more than I liked Shane and Shayna, and not just because the names are similar, even though I found that kind of stupid. Moving on, we got Nick, the guy that was married to Danielle. We had enough about him. I love them both. Got the fresh kicks on. All right, he fitted up, even though I don't necessarily like the fit. I love the shoes. I feel like a different shirt was needed there. If he wants to go that vibrant of a suit jacket. But moving right along, Olivia, don't remember much about her, if anything. Rocky Smith didn't even see. Salvador Perez, I think he was the dude making the deconstructed burrito or something like that mid-episode. Nothing important from him. Shayna. She cool, I guess. I mean, I feel like that's who Shane's probably going to end up with because that's his normal type in terms of Shane. Because Shane normally comes off as a guy that, like, you know, always in the bar, club scene that's always just, you know, kind of extremely flirty. And I feel like that's where they connect, but I feel like that's all it is for them. Like, it's just flirty, having a fun time with each other. But I'm like, that's not what you're here for. Love is more than just being a fun time. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's all that's going on here with them too. I don't feel like this would be anything substantial, and I don't know if Shane is necessarily smart enough to realize that for himself. Let me not say smart enough. I don't know if he has enough foresight to see that for himself right now. It's like seeing that you've done this enough, like you've been down this road enough, and like let's go somewhere else. And granted, this is me just making assumptions, but it's just me making assumptions off the personality and some of the words and behaviors they've shown on this show. But moving on, I would prefer him with Natalie. Not to say Shayna's a bad woman, because that's not what I'm saying at all. I just don't think that's the right one for Shane. So next we have Shane, who we talked about enough already. So moving right along. And Shayna, however I don't remember seeing her, but well, I remember seeing her because I remember the hair. I don't remember her speaking with anybody in the pod, so I'll be looking forward to her in episode 2. This is Trisha. I do not like this woman. There's very few people I will say I dislike because granted we don't know these folks, but I do not like this person. I know I wouldn't like this person in real life. She's very self-centered, very worried about what everyone else thinks rather than just being on the show to find someone. I feel like she was very surface level the whole episode and wasted a lot of folks' time. And I think that will be reflected when nobody actually ends up choosing her, unless somebody can get her to break down and actually, not break down, but, you know, get vulnerable and talk about stuff that's more than Instagram followers and how she's so attracted than other women. You know, she's being kind of catty this episode, and I didn't enjoy it. Just don't feel like she's here for the right woman reasons, and I don't care for her personality. So yeah, she can move along. Next, one of the last people, Vito. Don't remember him either. And I believe that's it. So I feel like most of this episode, yeah, I'm not gonna make y'all watch most of these ads. But I believe for the most part that's what the episode focused on, maybe 10 main people. So what I'm thinking is episode 2 should focus more on I don't know what to call it. Episode 2 should focus more on the other 10 characters is what should happen. So as for my question of the day that I want to hear from y'all is, how long do y'all like trying to figure out the editing schedule of these episodes? Is it they record the whole experience and chop from beginning to end and split that into 10 separate videos from each episode being from beginning to end of someone's love story, like for maybe 5 episodes or so? Or is this really just the beginning half and they just got together that quick? Which may have been because by the way they went back to their living quarters, the other people look like they hadn't been matched with folks like that. So who knows? Then question number 2 is, how do you think is Danielle and Nick are going to react to each other, seeing each other the first time and being with each other from then on, you know? Then, what was my final question? I had it written down. That's right. Who are your favorite people? Who do you think, like, favorite individuals, singles? Because mine currently stand Jarrett, Ayana. So far, I liked what Depty showed, even though she didn't show much. And Kyle. Those are my 4 favorite out of like the 10 people we really saw in this that had any type of conversation. So those are my 4 favorites right now. And then favorite couples, as y'all know, my favorite couple, obviously Danielle and Nick, everyone's gonna like because they're the first one I got together. But I really like Jarrett and Ayana together, and that's it I have so far. So let me know what y'all think about your favorite dark horse couples and things of that nature. Give me some ideas on your like favorite sleeper couples that you think will just do together, like go together. You don't have to base it off of any information. If you would like to base it off and you want to put that in below, go ahead. But just let me know who you think is some people you think would do well together, that you enjoy seeing together, and we'll see if they come true. I want to hear y'all's prediction. Let's get some interaction going. I love talking about these type of shows, and I'd love to build some folks to talk to about this show, you know? So that was my, first episode. I'll probably have it organized a little better. I kind of just want to get on and talk, talk to folks. So that's all I have for you all. I'll probably be back soon with episode 2. I'll probably record it sometime this weekend after I watch it and take all my notes. I literally wrote a page, and that was only half an episode because the first half I watched the night before. But yeah. But hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like and subscribe down below. Love to see y'all again. So y'all have a good evening, good rest of your day whenever you're watching it. May the Lord keep you till I see y'all again. Peace.